What is up, gamers? Welcome to this edition of Doing Salvage with two characters. This is Arrapago Remnants. So what we're doing here is we're going to get through this run killing some rats with just two characters. You can do this as a duo, you can do this as a dual box. What you're going to do is you're going to bring Summoner and Thief. You're going to just load up the Summoner with pretty much everything you can see. Zenobia is on Summoner, casting lots on everything. We got Nova on Thief. We are going to do this run entirely with Treasure Hunter 3 if your Thief happens to have the Mythic, the Vardra, the Dagger on FFERA. That will get you to Treasure Hunter 4 at the top of the run. On this first floor, you could kill some of the Quatrubs, the mummies over there to try to get a Castellana cell. Sometimes you can start with a Castellanus in the opening chest. And you can kill those to your heart's content to get one for the Summoner, one for the Thief. You could just entirely skip this floor. You don't even really have to do it at all. And then it's up to you what teleporter you want to go up. As you'll see, there's going to be 4 different ones. If you need to do the card NM, you could do it. If you want to do a duplicating of a cell, you could do that. I'll say you don't really have the option to duplicate the Opacus cell. You're going to need that for the Summoner. So if you get one in the chest and not 2, and you want to get one for the Thief, you're really probably not going to be able to do that fight without it. So there's not a whole lot of options of what you could possibly duplicate if you wanted to duplicate a cell. I had a Humulus cell that's an HP cell. I actually probably could have duplicated that one to make sure both characters had it, because you can kind of do without, as the Avatar is going to do a lot of the fighting in this. And I've cut a lot of the fighting out of this video because it's kind of the longest, most boring part of it. Because what you want to do at the top of the run is make sure your HP is in yellow, and then you're going to want to run over to those Quatrubs, which are undead. See, and then don't fill mode. You don't want to fill mode, because if you fill mode, you'll be able to see that there's 2 Quatrubs over there, and then you want to aggro both of them and wipe at the top of the run. That's what you want to do. So yeah, you can go up any teleporter, because you're really just going to the rat. The rat is not dependent on teleporter, because once you go up one of these legs, and again, skipping, you can just skip the first floor. You don't have to do anything. You'll be able to get to the center room where the rat is. There's nothing that makes the rat not spawn. It's just part of the run. It will always be there. And slapping a Dartist is, for luck. Sometimes it's good to slap a Dartist. So for these rats on various floors, you have to pay attention which ones are spellcasters, which ones are bombers. The spellcaster ones, there's nothing you can do to interrupt their spellcasting unless they possibly, you pull hate and they run, like they'll move that'll interrupt them. That's difficult to do. You can't silence them, stun them. You could do this different ways. You could have the Thief tag it first, and if it gets an Aga, run away. If you have 2 people playing it, that makes it a lot easier. I am going to be doing Apogee to do 2 blood packs in a row, because you just want to unload damage on this right away, because it will flee, like it runs to the teleporter and disappears, and then you don't get to kill it anymore. So you do want to tag Treasure Hunter, because the purse is not guaranteed. It is a drop. So as you can see in the fight, really quickly, you get the Thief out in case it Agas. The Thief doesn't really do much, and then you just blow this nerd up. Blaze Spikes, I got lucky on the spells he picked, because he could have Sleep Good, he could have a lot of things here. Get yourself some gear. chance. So for my thief on Nova, I am subbing White Mage because the Praesopatio is pretty much guaranteed on the rat. So I will get whether you start with 2 magic in the chest, you might start with 1 magic to sell in the chest, but you get one on the rat, which you're doing pretty much right away. Thing is, I don't have sub job yet, but there's gears in later floors to get sub job. So. And most of the run is, walking around managing cells. The fights are pretty quick. So for this floor, you have to decide if you want to go to the boot path, like where the Gespins are, or if you want to go the Psych Flare path. And that decides the NM you do on the next floor. So if you're after the Makas Crown or the Deimos Mask, like you have to pick which one you want to do. I've done both, and I find the Psych Flare tends to be easier. I believe it has like less HP or less defense, so it tends to be a little bit of a faster fight because of that. The summons are getting killed anyway, so when it does its bio or curse or anything, it's probably going to die fairly quickly, so those aren't going to stay up the status effects. I never attempt to silence either of them with sub job silence. That's not something that's possible with a white mage sub to do. The Gaspint or path would be the boot, and then it would have perdition, which is insta kills, and also spells. And I've also just found it, like, because it's a ghost, to be a bit tankier. This part is annoying though, because if you go the ghost pass with the Gespins, you can just sneak and invis past them, so there is that ease of access here. These will just just be in the way. Yeah, go away. Shoo. Which, not a lot you can do about this. And then there's another room with a whole bunch of them, but you very much can walk through those rooms without catching aggro. And if you do catch aggro, I would just advise you to just run all the way to the door anyway, and then you could just pull yourself. So that is another method. Just bring lots of re-raise items. Lots of re-raise and salvage always. So this rat is not a casting rat, it is a bombing rat. And what it will do is it will run through this room if you don't kill it quick enough. But it also will run back. It just takes a good long while. So you don't want to chase it, but you can let your avatar chase it, because the avatar won't get any aggro. So you can see how kind of close I got there for you. You can get right on through here. So if you don't win this fight right away, don't use the teleporter. Just hang out. You'll get another shot at the rat. It just keeps going back and forth. Put it on wide scan to track it to see where it is. And yet again, you have to get Treasure Hunter on all these for your increasing the purse chance, because the purse is not guaranteed. And of course, if you want the piece of gear as well, the 35. Lucky steel got off. Stingy rat. You get some cells for yourself. It's good to get a little bit more evasion. There's a coat that's gonna go to the floor. This run definitely had the luck of starting with 2 Opacus at the start, because if I only had the one and then 2 magic cells, the thief really wouldn't be able to do a whole lot. So that rat died pretty quickly because I was able to get off, a weapon skill, and also was able to steal. Like, there's all these benefits from that. So it will be more difficult if you only get the 1 Opacus. So you can do this in any order. You can go open the door, you can go to the Psych Flare. The rat is triggered by opening the door. The Psych Flares don't go away. As long as you stay on the floor, you don't lose anything. So I'm doing the rat first, just to get it out of the way. He's another one that runs back and forth. There's a very small area for him to run back and forth. So this rat's actually really easy if you don't blow him up right away. So don't panic, he'll come back. And GG. A lot of the same cells as before. Pulling the Psych Flare is very difficult because these things aggro. So I have at times just had the thief sack pull the summoner or the Psych Flare, because the summoner pulling doesn't always work. They job ability aggro, so they'll aggro to assault. They'll aggro magic, I believe, as well. They also are just true. So I have just sack pulled this. You just bring re-raise for your characters, and I think the fight tends to last more than around 5 minutes anyway. But you can get lucky with their movement and get a nice clean pull in here. Fill mode, very helpful. You're looking for the big guy. You could attempt to clear one. They aren't actually that tough with Summoner. It's how much time you want to spend doing it. You might get if you don't have an Apogus, you could get one off these guys. Although there's not much fighting you have to do. That's why I'm like, I don't know if I didn't have an Apogus, I don't think I would really bother to get one on the thief. Helps if you have ranged, but I didn't start with that, and I'm not going to farm it. So we get carbuncle on it, sneak away. That is probably harder than the fight itself, is timing when you can get in there and get it. So again, it might be worth it to clear one or two of those just so you can get it, safer start. You have plenty of time to clear if you want to just try to clear, because you got to think about, it's time. So the time spent of a weakness, the time spent fighting. So there's safer strats you could do. You don't need the Opacus to fight the rat, so you could, again, fight the rat first. And you could potentially already have 3 purses by now. Carbuncle lasted a good while. Doing Garuda, because Garuda butt. And you pretty much just fight it like anything else that you fight a summoner. Once you've got it, you're just blood packing, running away, buffing yourself. Watch MP management. You bring additional items and coverage. You're going to be good. You do want to tag Treasure Hunter on it. The purse is also dependent on that, so hate can get a little weird from the avatar being the target to the thief being the target. And you can get unlucky on the spells it casts, because if it casts, strong things, it's just going to blast your avatar. But mostly your avatar is going to get killed pretty regularly. That if it starts debuffing it, I'm not gonna worry too much about that. But that's some hefty damage from a blood pack. So I got TH on it, and it starts going after Nova the Thief. Who we don't want dying, because we want Treasure Hunter on it. Just running with Treasure Hunter 3. You have the potential to get hands on this floor if you wanted to clear the gears and go do the ramparts. But you can end up with a big mess. I do not know how ramparts interact with avatars and their spawning. But again, if you are willing to die, as long as you get the rampart dead and you potentially get your Radialis drop, you could just wipe and reset. So just make sure you die in a place where you can get back up. And then you could have TH4 on the rat and the cycler on this floor, and then the next rat on the next floor. So that would be a good addition. And this is about 30 minutes into the run. I've edited some fights and walking. So you can, if you want to spend time doing other stuff, safety, farming things, you can go for it. And there we go, another purse. So this floor, there's a bunch of gears, and you can sack pull them. This gear in particular is right where the rat is going to spawn. So you want to clear this one so you can get to this rat. The gears are true, so you're in this position of either kill them or move them. To spawn the rat, you have to open the door to the teleporter, and it spawns back in this room. So I sack pull for this. I just have the thief go and run, which you won't see because I'm recording on the summoner, but I cleared all this out where all the gears were, so I have a safe place to die and run through. So the ramparts are sound aggro, so you can put a sneak up to try to avoid that unless you get attacked, and it'll go away. But you have to get to that door. I found it's just faster than trying to like slowly kill everything to just go and run and open it, and then you have to run back. You can't die over there because you want your treasure hunter. So if you had a third character, you could just have that third character just go open the door and die. I don't do anything more after this floor either, because the next floor is a kill all. It's a bunch of gears and ramparts, so there would be ramparts that spawn trees, and you have to kill everything to open the door to go up to the boss. If you killed everything in 8 minutes, you'd get two more rats. I don't think it's feasible at all to clear that room low man. Like, I think you need a solid group to kill that room uh, fast enough to get the two additional rats, which are two more potential purses. And then the boss also would be a potential purse. So I think low man you could clear the room, just not in the time frame. And the boss probably killable as well, but it's one linen. Like, it's a lot of time spent, and I just am not interested in clearing that room and doing a long drawn out boss fight. So there I got Nova back, the thief back, in a good position to die. This rat on this floor is a casting rat, so this is a rat that will disappear. It uses some kind of warp like the one on the first floor. So this is a rat you have to, if you don't kill it, it will go away. Also, it can aga. So again, there's RNG. So those rats, like, you could just get dunked on. I've had it happen where they just blew me up or they slept me. So there's not whole lot you can do about that. I mean, if you really want to be really safe, you can pop poison potions, or you could have your summoner sub scholar, because you are giving yourself sub job abilities, and you could just have sublimation up. You can see the rat is up over here. That's why we killed the gear that would be over here in the way. And then we're going to jump ahead once the weakness wore off. But all in all, this run is under an hour, depending how much time you want to put into things for safety. And that's second floor rat, third floor rat, fourth floor rat, psych flare, fifth floor rat. That's 5 potential purses. And if you really wanted to, you could probably try to get to the boss. but I don't think you'd be able to low man the next floor. But GG.